We're chilling. Let me get all my shit up. Okay. Music. Tell me if the music's too loud. I was listening, not streaming earlier, and I was adjusting them. um. Okay. So first off, I was we still there? I got Zaxby's. What you know about Zaxby's up in the Midwest? Um. So it started with this core thing. I made 3 decks the other night. I wanted to use Lady Deathstrike, and not necessarily in the same deck, but Lady Deathstrike, Grandmaster, and Absorbing Man. And so, anyways, I was making this Lady Deathstrike, which I've only used once so far. And really the core was like Death Striking on 5, maybe Zola in it. Although you don't really need to Death Strike 2 lanes usually. But anywho, as I was playing around with that, I was like, man, I don't know if I've ever really fucked around with Shuri in a negative deck. Now, obviously, negative deck, you want low-powered cards before you flip them, so she doesn't work great. But that was the genesis. And so this is the spicy brew I've been fucking up with. Do they? Dude, Zaxby's is so good. It actually started in Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs. Um, Again, appreciate the raid. Let me get the straw. Now, earlier, dude, I had a couple wicked games. You'll see, I'm still trying to learn some of the lines and permutations, but one of the cool things about this is like everyone knows that there's been the Black Panther Zola line for basically since the game came out. I mean, Black Panther was added shortly after the game came out. Anywho, so one cool thing is, one time my opponent with priority on turn 6, I played Panther just by himself on 5, right? On 6, my opponent played armor, and then I played Grand Master on him. So he thought I was going to Zola. It didn't matter. I have a 16 powered Black Panther in the middle, and then I won left. So that was just like one cool wrinkle. Havoc with Iron Man's just nifty. If Havoc gets negated, he's a 0-6. So now you have a potentially like a 12 power play, just those two. So, anyways, and then the third thing I made, which I haven't played yet, is this Surfer deck. And normally when you play Surfer, you're trying to play him on 6. The idea of this, I haven't played it yet, is potentially you play him on one of the flanks on 5, and then on 6 you can play Absorbing Man and then Grand Master on either one, and you're getting 3 Silver Surfer procs without even needing a Wong or an Odin. Sweet, yeah, and like that. This is I probably played 15. I usually play until I'm done with my daily missions and then I hop off. I probably played 16 games in the last day and a half, and I've won 13 of them, maybe 12 at the worst. Now, one of those losses was an 8 cuber, but I mean, I was in it. I had every reason to stay. It was just a brilliant play by them. They had like a Tuma under a super giant. I was worried about getting Goliath and Negasonic behind the super giant. So how many surfers? Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I've actually been like crushing it with this. It's actually been pretty dope. I had a game earlier where I robbed a Living Tribunal deck and won it on the flip. Um, yeah, I'll run one real quick. I really kind of want to show, especially if you're still there, Matchy. I had a game earlier, and it was one of the worst. Like, all right, sometimes the game will do the fast forwarding when we absolutely do not want it to. You know what I mean? And then like it won't do it when you want it to. An example is like it won't fast forward when like a bunch of Thors are played on Bar Sinister. We have to sit there and on cue, on fucking cue. Where we had, you have to wait for them to spawn 4 Mjolnirs, and then if you play one Mjolnir, you have to wait for it to hit all 4 or whatever. But anyways, I played a negated Zola on like a Bar Sinister with an Iron Man. It fast forwarded, and I wound up having like 3 Mr. Negatives on my board and still won. Sorry, opponent, I didn't mean to rope you. What you gonna eat for dinner? Ryan Football. Sorry, Ego. I need boosters for both Wong and Zola. Gotcha. I don't I like I love one of my favorite things about this game as like an anti-well mechanic, so to speak, is how even those who spend the most money get like what's the word? Like gridlocked, bottlenecked, um, with boosters. But I do think there should be a little bit cleaner way to target them. What do we do here? So one thing I did in one game just for shits and giggles. Oh, another game I won. There was a. It was either a danger room, it was or a death's domain. It was something where it's sketchy to play in, right? And I just played a. I did that a grandmaster behind a Psylocke, and I wound up winning that lane just because I got to play into it for free. I'm not gonna do that here though. I love the animation they gave her. To Olive Garden, what you gonna get? Hold on, let me turn this light off. It's too bright. What's happening? All right, I'm gonna do this while I eat real quick. Sorry. I'm still here. Okay, here we go. Turn 4. What just happened? Why do I have more power? Oh yeah, Psylocke. I'm an idiot. What is he doing? Darkhawk stuff with Thor thing? Okay, we Panther. Do we Panther? I think I Panther left and then Grandmaster it, Zola it on 7. Endless breadsticks. That's all you're gonna eat? You're not. There's not like a dank salad or something. Psylocke 4, so Panther Grandmaster 5. Yeah, I'm even thinking of waiting to Zola Grandmaster in first. Oh, that's what you're saying? Yeah, and then, but I'm actually gonna try to wait to turn 7, assuming we get it, just to make them less susceptible. Yeah, but I mean like a specialty salad, you know, like a bomb one. All right, let me focus. What am I doing here? I might. Do we do that? Please don't Shang-Chi, my Black Panther. Please don't you do it. I don't love the rocks. Not very nice of them. I will have initiative, so that's neat.
Wakanda forever.
Huh. Alright, so this is tricky here. I honestly, part of me wants this Eliath here. In the middle. Protecting and Zola on the last turn. How good is a special? Is that what it's called? That actually, like, as I was reading it is the music good audio, by the way? I read that as like a oil, like something in a car. Also, here's the best thing about this deck so far. I've probably played 15-ish games. I have a great record with it so far, and I've only played Mr. Negative twice, and none of them have been early. Do we just go in Zola? Hmm. I might even float. No, I think I Eliath. It does. It means I have a sketchier Zola on 6, but then it could hit. Ah, what do I do? Do you think he Shangs it? I'm worried about the Shang. Oh, wow, he's playing that behind, like way off tempo. All right, sorry, I'm still eating a little bit. I lost Prio. That's not ideal. If it okay, now it kind of sucks because if it hits a Goliath, it does nothing. So here's what's cool about Havoc at the end. This is 5 to the right. I think we just do this for 2 cubes. Aw, poopy butt. GG's. This one was tricky. I'm so worried about Shang. Obviously, playing Zola and Panther on 6 changes his whole mindset. Because then he can't afford to play Odin behind the thing if he wanted to play Shang. Yo, Ego. You're the Celtic fan, right? Still eating, but is it? So the club is Celtic, and then what is it? The like culture in Ireland, Celtic. Is that the difference? And is that an age-old dispute where probably one or the other were kind of like repurposing the word for their own culture's use, and they're like, you know what? F those bastards from across the channel, and then they do the other one. Like, we can't call it Celtic, we gotta call it Celtic, or vice versa. Alright, what is my opponent doing right now? This is spooky. It's always sketchy playing this game with no audio. I don't like not knowing if they snap or whatnot. Alright, I put my cam back on to show you something, but I need to... Dude, that's crazy. I'm not often playing Mr. Negative on a Warrior Falls and him not dying. This isn't a great negative. I should have looked at my deck. I'm about to get a Nihilist. But yeah, this isn't ideal. This is not ideal. Ooh, a 0-1 Sunspot. Look how one of my favorite things about playing Mr. Negative is just getting to see the different variants and how they look negated, negatived. Nagad. Ooh. Okay. I have initiative somehow. Somehow I have initiative here. I can Zola and send him 2 goblins back. But then he annihilates me and then sends them right back. Do I Panther and Zola? I mean, I'm gonna have what? Negative 13 there, so I'd only have 3 to the right. Ah, this is sketchy. Annihilus.
Wakanda forever.
The hood dies. I'm glad he went ahead and did that. I also can still void. No, never. I was gonna say Zola, but if it hits the void, that doesn't help me. Okay, 16 on the left doesn't win me left nor right. In moments like this, you know what card is really dope? A, Grandmaster, one that I have in my deck. Another, B, uh, Carnage. A single Carnage, if he Galactuses me right, wins this. Oh, wait. Oh, no. That loses me. Yeah, same, almost identical situation to what match he faced a little bit earlier. Okay, here's where I turn my cam back on. 1 second. I'm telling you, I'm a fan. So we start. Gerard. Warrior kit. Probably the only year Liverpool wore Warrior. One of two. Okay. Mr. Xherdan Shaqiri. So this is almost going in chronological order a bit. In the background, I'm not going to grab it off the wall because it's probably my prized possession. Not really, but it's one of them. Is Allison kit, and what's super fire is as I'm sure you are aware, um, you know, sometimes, well, they always have the third kit, right? You have your home away third kit, but then sometimes they'll have that like essentially like a fourth kit that they might only use one match, especially keepers sometimes. Well, that was Allison's. It's a black and gold one. He only wore it in one match. It was only sold on the store for like somewhere between like 3 to 7 weeks, I want to say. So I have that, and then another one I love. This is the last one I'll show you for now. We got Verge, and this one's also a kind of unique one because not only because this particular year Liverpool were the reigning Premier League champs, I was able to get the gold badge, while also the timing of it worked where Liverpool had also won the FIFA Club World Cup. So like, there's not many chances like there, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? There's not many like windows where you're able to order something, and when you go to the shop, you know, you can do the little drop down menus and add the badges or whatever. Where we both qualified to have that and that. You know what I mean? Like a couple months later, someone else probably Man City would have won the Premier League, and or Liverpool would have gotten knocked out of the Champions League in 2020 by Atletico Madrid, and we would have, you know, basically already been ineligible. You can always say like, you're still like, if you win this in like December of 2022, even if you get eliminated from potentially winning it August of next year, you're still technically the defending champion until someone wins it in December. But anywho, I thought this one's also, I need to get this one framed. Pretty sick. Okay, let me catch up on chat. That looks identical. Nice color on that. Shaqiri is my boy now. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Chicago Fire, great shout, great shout. One of my favorite parts about Gerard Ego is that like, he was true box to box midfielder. Like if you watch a compilation of him at any given time, you might have like 2 straight minutes of him just like making full-blooded, doesn't give a shit, completely clean tackles in our own half. Ronaldo 2008 kit signed by, ooh, that would be fire. Yeah, I don't have any of mine signed, unfortunately. That would be super sick. 2008, good year too. I know they won the Premier League that year. That was the year they beat Chelsea in the penalty shootout when John Terry slipped in the rain in Moscow. I told you I'm about this. The only thing I doubt of that is the Moscow part, but I'm pretty sure that match was in Moscow. But yeah, I'm a die-hard footy fan. I need to choose a different playlist. I don't like this one right now. I mean, it's good, but I want something different. check. Was that one in Moscow? That one's an easy kind of sequence to remember because Liverpool lose to AC Milan in 2007. United beat Chelsea in 08, and then United lose to Barcelona at Wembley in 2009. Or was the 2011 game in Wembley? I don't remember that. I used to have a Celtic one. Henrik Larsson, he was dope, Swedish. Um, he was a baller, a quiet baller when I first started to get into footy. So like growing up, I was only into. All right, let me get into another game while I start this. Do y'all have any particular decks y'all want me to play? Because I'm one of those. Matchy can attest if he's still here. First off, I really don't like using meta stuff. And secondly, even if I'm using something that's either like it's doing really well, like let's say I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm balling, like I'm dropping great damage numbers, kills. After a couple games, I'll switch gun. Like I can't play the same thing for too many games in a row. So the same one that I've been playing, or the yeah, I guess so. Never mind. The other two don't have it. I actually like this new interface. This is the first time they've done it like this with the logins. It's pretty clean. It's obviously a lot like other games, but it's much cleaner. Speaking of which, I don't like how they handle the events. Game, hello? You with me? Sorry, let me reboot it. Well, Ryan and Ego, how long have y'all been playing Snap? Because I know like Matchy started around like summer of last year. And I mainly ask because in the first like 2 months, 3 months the game came out, of like global launch, they had two events, a Halloween one and a symbiote one in particular, right? And one of the things that people didn't like about them, and they basically shelved them, right? Like they stopped doing these type of events up until this one now. They stopped for like a year and a half almost. And it's because it got a lot of bad feedback. But it mainly got bad feedback. It didn't give any rewards. And like not even to sound greedy, it could have just been like boosters, but it didn't even give those. It gave you like stickers. Like the Halloween one was essentially like a haunted house that was blank, and then once you got to a certain threshold, you got like a Morbius, and then when you looked at your little haunted mansion, you'd see like Morbius, like vampire creeping, you know what I mean? You hit the next threshold and there'd be like pumpkins everywhere. And it's like, this is neat in addition to like a reward tracker, but this is no gamer nowadays, after we've been spoiled by so many other games, no game is gonna or no, like gamers aren't gonna just like, cool, let's put stickers on our Halloween mansion. I only started playing recently, like mid-November. Okay, so that's a little history lesson. So at least with this one, there's rewards with the event. Where is it at? But I guess my point was, it's still not like convenient, right? Like you have to, if you're playing on PC, it pops up into a. You have to go to the website. Like I can't handle that in the game client. You're gonna make me pull up a web browser. But anywho, hopefully they clean these up. Speaking of which, I actually need to claim mine, because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people who like hit the missions and probably forget to claim them before the next reset. Had Modoc in it. Modoc was February, I believe. And I remember that because, well, you'll learn I have an absurd. By the way, thank you for the follow, Ego. And I didn't even realize this. Your follow was my 100th. You're my 100th follower, which was like my goal. And it's at the bottom right. And we're at actually 101. Who was that? Ryan, you too. Y'all sent me over the threshold. Let's go. Early, so yeah, that was February. And I remember that because of Ant-Man. That's when the movie came out. Quantumania, I believe. I only actually saw it yesterday. When did it start? What do you that's a good question. It started the 10th. Hold on, let me pull. I can pull it up right here. So when you click on that, it brings you to this website. And I don't even know what it does on the phone. I would presume it also takes you to like Safari or whatever your web browser would be. But let's see. It just tells me when it'll end. I don't remember when it started. I have over 24 of these, and you can get up to 8 a day. Technically, you can get 10, but I'm not buying any of their variants just to get 2 extra little masks. You can get 8 a day, and I'm over 24. So, and I didn't get them all yesterday, so at least 3 days, maybe 4. Yeah, just a friendly reminder. But ultimately, what my point was, and this is a perfect like segue, is they need to make this cleaner. Like, how many gamers probably forget because it's like, hey, to even see it, you gotta just remember as you're in this lobby that this scrolls. Come on, game, scroll, boom. You know what I mean? And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you know what I mean? It should be in an interface within the game. Sorry, I'll stop rambling, but part of why I even went on that was because the game, like I knew I needed to claim stuff, and it's not always the easiest. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, am I at 24? Am I 20? Well, I'm clearly past 24. Sorry for hitting that. I'm clearly past 24, but am I at 25, 26? Because that would also help where it's like, okay, we got 5 days left. If I knew I was at a certain number, I might not need to put, and that's probably their whole like goal is to, I love her animation, is they want you to be confused, so you just go ahead and play the extra games. But like, if mathematically I didn't need to push for 10 wins and I'm at like 6, like I don't want to have to stress myself for 4 or more games, 4 if I win everyone.
Opponent snapped.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, this is spooky. So, Living Tribunal deck, Monster Island, snaps on Monster Island, Living Tribunal. I don't love my hand, to be honest. Question mark. Maybe still Tribunal? I'm about to yoink his shit, though. I know that much. Gimme, gimme. It's so funny how they've added. So Ryan, you probably starting in November. You actually probably were around before they added this. But I call them the spectrum effects because initially she was the only card in the game that did this. But like spectrum would glow when you would hover her, indicating who she's going to impact. Right. Eventually, they added that with Man Thing and Lady Deathstrike. Um, okay, rip our monsters. Rip our monsters. Yeah, Electro. Good job, man. Give me your Mega Red, which does nothing for me. Okay, so it's still a tribunal likely. I got the event finished today. Ooh, nice with sick. Yeah. Um. We definitely don't want to negative this late. I can't get initiative with this to get my Zola off first. This isn't ideal. Do we play for the 50-50 with Zola? Might as well at least see one more turn. I paid for the flop.
Wakanda forever.
I don't know if we like it. Do we? I don't. I think I'll retreat. Or hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, there's no point in playing Sunspot in the middle. Grandmaster hits Black Panther. I win middle. It wins me right. Or do I sacrifice? So I guarantee we both everything dies here. I'm sorry, Electro. What did he hit? Nebula? I mean, if I'm gonna do this, I'm. No, I'm retreating. Sorry, I wanted to see that one, but I can't. Because at that point I might. Sorry for roping you. Yeah. My bad. At that point I might as well just. If I'm on a 50-50 anyways with Grandmaster, I might as well do it with the Zola, I guess. What were we talking about before? The event, and then I don't remember. If y'all want me to play something else, let me know. Yeah, United. United needed that. Y'all are probably pretty pissed that Tottenham scored in the freaking last seconds again. I'm still, as a Liverpool fan, I'm not like we're over it, but knowing how we've already lost to two Premier League titles to City by a point, a solitary point, twice. The fact that like that point we didn't get at Tottenham, at least a point, right? Because if Luis Diaz's goal isn't wrongly rolled off, you'd like to think we at least escape North London with a point, because they needed the own goal from Matip in the 98th minute to get the win. This is all poop. Do we just get us some hokey boys? What's crazy is I have two early Mr. Negative enablers, right? Two. And I'm now on like 20 games with this deck, and I have not pulled them off once. It's really trippy. But I have another Mr. Negative deck that's kind of like a more traditional one with Ironheart, Iron Man, you know, like a more traditional negative deck. And I can get them off, early, probably like 2 in every 5 matches at minimum. Ooh, what do I play here? Shuri? What's the Shuri even doing in this deck anymore? I haven't used her once successfully. She might be the first on the chopping block. Both literally robbed some titles by City. Yeah, City's not cool. Zabu instead of having. So that's it. Initially, when I first built it, I had all 3. But I only had the 2 cards to really use Zabu. But I might actually consider that Shuri instead of him. But then I would only have 1 card. Now, some might argue that getting negative off early, it justifies Zabu. Ooh, look at this juicy 2/6 Eliath. I think we Iron Man. Iron Man and then Zola question mark? No, because if it hits Iron Man, I lose left and doesn't do anything on the right. He's pretty much aimed at negative early, and yeah. I actually put that on Reddit maybe a year ago. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, but I think I'm just gonna do this and nothing. Thank you for not sniping. This is probably a bot question mark. Miles, just clean Miles name. One quality of life suggestion I've wanted for a while is Jeff and Nightcrawler, when they still have their movement available, should have some kind of like passive, you know, like little smoke or something. Because I forget. Ooh, we do have, okay, boom. That shouldn't do that. Nope, don't do that. He moves his Nightcrawler, for sure. What is Miles cooking up here? One thing I do love about this combo, though, is like this. Again, this is a pretty cheap 12 power, right? Oof. I think I Zola the Hulk, right? And then we play that. I did forget to account that he had initiative. Don't be Cosmo. Okay. He didn't move his Nightcrawler either.
Hail Hydra!
We take those. I think Miles is a little on the not human side of the gamer sphere. Yeah, well, thankfully Miles didn't know either. Oh, I gotta get new songs. Hold on. I have the worst habit of roping my opponent on turn 1. Oh, dude, I almost had that in the game earlier. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, this is actually trippy because this actually hurts him. He does not want Black Swan there, surely. Sakaar was the first location, and it pulled my Iron Man. Honestly, the scariest card for me to face right now, like when my opponent plays it, my sketch level goes most up when I see Supergiant currently. I have no, like, I thought that I knew what I like was gonna see from it. A couple times I've seen, like a couple times in a row, it was Eliath, and like basically they play like Negasonic on the turn after Supergiant, and then Eliath on 6, so they're already hitting the like, they're just fucking double fisting your boy, and ooh, that's not great. And then I started the game plan for that. I'm like, okay, let me maybe even skip this next turn so I don't have a just card face down ready to get plowed by Eliath. And then earlier in my stream from earlier today, that happened 3 times. And none of them followed their Supergiant with Eliath nor Negasonic. It was actually trippy. So, like, I actually made a comment. I was like, that shows how kind of cool, good spot the meta is in right now. That even when I see a setup card, I don't know what to play. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Center to the middle. Well, let's get 2 Psylocks in here. Don't be Enchantress. It can't be Enchantress. Never mind. Just kidding. I'm gonna get back to that point. But yeah, about how good the meta was. It's like I'm literally seeing a setup card 3 times, and none of them were then not only were they not the ones I expected, none of them were the same from each other. Like one was like a Doctor Doom kind of situation, another one was a Tribunal type of situation, and then another one, the one I lost to, was really cheeky. It was an Atuma, and I was like, honestly, I don't know why I haven't thought of that, because for people who, when they first get Invisible Woman, one of the first things you kind of like play around with is Ebony Maw and Atuma, and basically negating their negative traits with Invisible Woman. And I was like, honestly, I don't know, when I read Supergiant, that was not something I considered, but that's another good one. Ham back in a hand for free. Ham the ham. One of the weirder interactions, I honestly don't think it's intended. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. But when you get, like, let's say you have a what's his name, Mobius on the board, and you get hammed, you get a free pig. Like, regardless of what its power level is, you get you a freebie. It's so dope. Don't have. What's your collection level? Let me give you a sub too, so you don't have to deal with ads. Huh. We don't love this. Can I get negative off early once? Speaking of Invisible Woman, it's like I spoke into existence. This is very weird. I do have, this is neat. Camp Lehigh coming in clutch. This could be very neat. And I have a Eliath. Ooh, I'm going to be a mean head. What do we do here? They play left, I think. We get another one. But we can't draw. Fuck. I should have not played him left. Now I can't draw. Ooh, that's a nice play. Get out of here. He doesn't love that, I'm sure. Damn, you gotta be real careful where you play here. You're gonna get clustered. 1500? Nice. So, what kind of decks, archetypes have you kind of like gravitated towards so far throughout the months? I don't like him having a bunch of these Ebony Maws, that's for sure. We need to find a way to get initiative, but it seems unlikely. Okay, fuck. I want to be able to lie at that. I don't think this gets me initiative. So I really don't need 6 power on the end, do I? I think I play him. And we just play like Iron Man or something. This is risky. Zoo. Working well. Destroy and slightly discard. I like how you said slightly. Is that because you don't have a lot of the package, or what's the slightly part? Get him out of here! Get him out of here! Turnover! What are you? Be a Hella or something. Although he's still gonna win. I don't know why I'm getting excited. Those Ebony Maws on Cloning Vats are juicy. If only your boy had a Killmonger. Okay, this is what? 20 power on the left. And this is 5 on the right. I can go 5 in the mid. I don't think we have it. If it makes you feel better, and this was the case well before they added the concept of spotlight caches, mind you. I don't think I got Dracula until I was at least 3,300. I want to say I was maybe closer to 4,000 before I got him. And again, not only were there wasn't the spotlight thing, so now it's in theory easier to get someone. But there were less cards to randomly pull, yada yada. That's actually a quality of life thing I've wanted, is like, I wish you can click on cards and see some general stats, like what level or when you got them at, when you got the card, how many games you've played with them. I don't even really need to see my wins, losses, win rate, although at least win rate would be cool. I just kind of want to see how many games I've played with them. Now, your boosters kind of give you that, but as we know, there's so many other ways to get boosters for cards that it's not the be-all, end-all. So anyway, there's a couple like card-based stats I would love, and one of them is when you got a card. But yeah, I didn't get Dracula forever, and it's why I hated the card for so long, because I was like constantly getting screwed by him. There was no way to deal with them. This was before Lady Deathstrike was in the game. I keep getting 50 tokens. I even got in. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about on this one? The collection tracker, this thing? I'm saving my token for... I don't even know what Cole Obsidian's slated to do, but I really want that Thanos variant. What do you mean 50 tokens? You mean like... Because you remember how they used to Like nowadays, when you open those collector caches, you'll get 100 of these things, the tokens, I think they're called. You'll at minimum get 100. There was a period where they would give you 50 of those, and that was mad infuriating. These are the cards I'm missing. I think it's like 6. I'm gonna turn my webcam off for a second while I get back to playing. Okay, yeah, because I was confused. Only because you said you started playing in November, and I wasn't sure when they made that change. Because honestly, you probably experienced. Well, you might have been too low of a collection level at the time for it to matter, but actually, I don't even know how the beginning of the like. I kind of want to make an alt at one point just to see how it is for new people. But can you potentially get those collector tokens early, or do you only start getting them once you're in Series 3? Do you know how? Have you looked into the whole like Series 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing on Guffum? All right, I'm gonna try the Surfer deck out a little bit. I like this dude's name, Mega Man 8-bit. I fucks with that. Ooh, gotcha, gotcha. I think my. Ooh, am I dropping frames? Oh. Yo, was I dropping frames there? Whoa. Okay, so this is true my first time ever playing this deck. I have no idea what kind of lines I need to be taking, but I think we play this. Is it better now? On my end, it looks like it's better. I didn't even see what he killed. What did I kill? Did you see what he... Oh, man, he killed my Shaw. Okay, well, his Cosmo's out of my way. Is it better now? Okay. All right, sweet. For the next spot, yeah, me too. Again, I want that Thanos variant. I really like the variants that are like comic book covers. Whereas a lot of other variants are obviously spot inspired by panels within a comic. I'm digging it. So this one's awkward, right? Again, my grand vision for this deck involved playing Surfer on 5. But I don't really have the other kind of like nuts and bolts. I guess since I have a protected Wong, I play this. And that. which is awkward. He makes 3, and that's a possible permutation as well to this deck. Obviously, I just didn't have the board space this time, but he makes 2 clones of himself that are 2 powered, or maybe they're 4 powered. Yeah, they're 4 powered. It's 4. Would most conveniently though, they would still be 3 costs, so they would get hit by Surfer. Do I yoink? I yoink and then I slap. I suck and then I slap. Question mark? I mean, there's a lot of things he can do that I'm not happy about. Like, okay. I mean, if he plays Sarah, he doesn't play Eliath. That looks great. This is the one that's in the shop now, right? Love that. Unlike a saxophone. I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to suck and sap. Although I don't get any use out of his Marvel here. Oh well, I just don't want him to have it. I'm like the kid who's taking his ball home with him. I don't like it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't really like our odds here. Question mark. Not great. So there's 2 things I want to do. A, I need to take Shuri out of that other deck before I forget. And B, I'm going to give it a couple more games. Because how many times am I going to get Cosmo'd prematurely like that? I do think I need something else that's 3 cost, though. I had too many non-3 cost people. Alright, first I need to take Shuri out. You said Zabu? Did I miss anything? So excited. No. Interesting. Ever think of swapping somebody for Mystique to get that double Wong? I haven't yet, because again, that was the first game I've ever played with that deck. Always on the table. Anytime Wong, and it would get hit potentially by the Silver Surfer. Like the Mystique would get hit by the Surfer. You said, oh yeah, Wong, Zabu. So this is my, okay, let me show you this was actually the deck I was using for about 4 or 5 days last weekend, kind of going into this. That got me up to 90. Again, it's more like a traditional, kind of traditional negative deck. I wouldn't really say I ever make a deck that's too, like, I always try to, I don't know how to word it, but anyway, one thing that's cool about this is Ravonna, because we were talking about early negative enablers, right? Ravonna was Psylocke's always been in the game, and Zabu's been in the game for over a year. But what's cool about Ravonna is she not only obviously helps with negative, she helps with other cards that have often traditionally been in negative, kits or whatever you call them, packages, shells, maybe I think is the TCG term. And so she just felt really clean. In this deck, I actually climbed like ridiculously fast. Mystique would also get me exactly. Yeah. Sorry. Magic is good as turn 7, or no, to get. Oh yeah. Okay, so you're talking about that Surfer deck. Okay, now we're cooking. Actually, the more I look at this, I kind of want to play that again a little bit. Okay, what was I doing? Taking Shuri out. We put Zabu in. Yes? Question mark. We only have one. Okay, maybe we take one other card out. Do we take Psylocke? No. Okay, the good of Psylocke, obviously she's an enabler. I can do some if nothing else, I can play Grandmaster on her and get an extra turn of boost from her. But as we've seen a couple times, her being on a lane made my Zola 50-50 instead of like 100-100, right? Or, you know what I mean. I think I'm going to take Psylocke out, though, right? That one less on reveal can not only increase my chances for late game Grandmasters, but more relevantly Zolas. Let's try. And then if Kane... Honestly, I want to make Kane work probably more than anybody on the planet. The problem is, I can't tell you how many times I've lost games. Definitively hampered my ability to succeed in that match by playing him. I'm talking my opponents play, and then they get to see like the permutation. They're like, oh no, never mind, I'm not gonna fucking play there. Like, it's so much worse than Daredevil. It's crazy. It would be one thing if your opponents like couldn't change what they did or something, but and honestly, he's not good at Mr. Negative because it's not like you get to keep his 5 power anyways. He vanishes and poofs. I had Taskmaster in this deck at one point, but I often didn't like the thing I was Taskmastering was like at most 8 power sometimes. Kane, then Grandmaster, then if only he came back. Remember, he disappears, or else you could. In fact, when he first came out, there was the streamer Dara. It's actually how I found out about Dara and started to follow him. But he infamously kidnapped some other player. Like, basically, I can't remember exact scenario, but I think it involved an Iron Fist. And but he basically, it was like he played, I want to say Iron Fist the turn before Kang, right? And then he would play Kang. It would like do its thing, but then it would move behind the Cosmo or something. He did something that basically made the game an infinite loop. Like, basically, Kang would play, boom, you would rewind, and he'd have Kang again. And so he was literally able to just keep doing it. Now, at any point, his opponent could have retreated. He could have just stopped doing that and played something else. But at that point, it was like for the memes and the content. So he just kept doing it. And like, I don't know, I can't remember how long it went on for, but he legit kidnapped his opponent. Again, his opponent could have quit, but at that point, it's like, damn. He disappeared. Oops, yeah, you're good. Maybe Mystique. We're talking about for this deck. Oh yeah, she's good with negative. Yeah. I think part of why I didn't have her is because she was in the traditional negative shell. And I was trying to get real funky, but this is still pretty funky even with her in it. That sounded like I said in it. Alright, ooh, what about her? 3-2? Where is Mystique? There you go. What if you just Kang then B same turn? Ooh, okay, first off, how would that even work? I guess negative. Okay, now I almost want to cook that up. I mean, obviously a negative could Kang. And then with Beast being a 2-2, even if he's in your deck, he's not like hampered by being negated. Granted, I'm a kid from the 90s, but I'm a sucker for some pixels, bro. All right, I like the Mystique for now. Let me go back to that this deck, and we need to find one other 3-drop. I think part of my logic was like, I was hoping I could Moon Girl and get multiple Shaws, but that doesn't even really work either. Okay, no Moon Girl. You suggested Mystique. Someone else, one of y'all suggested Magic, another Mystique. The thing with Mystiquing the Wong, well, I guess I could do it on a different lane, can't I? It's obviously much juicier when you put them on the same lane. That's in regards to the Mystique. I'm just worried about that lane getting clogged up. You know, I'm already brooding and potentially absorbing manning the Brood if I don't absorb a man the Silver Surfer. I wish he was better. You know, they recently buffed Punisher. Yo, look, shout out. I'm gonna try to find a good fry. Look at seasoning on it. Too fire. I don't know if my camera zoomed in. Hashtag, you know who really needs a buff? I've been saying it since the day they tweaked Shang-Chi. Is Drax. Obviously, he's like this because he was set up to be under Shang's threshold. But once they moved it to 10, my man should get +3. For sure. And they buffed him once. He used to be 4, 5, +3. But they're like, we'll give him a higher floor, lower ceiling, unless you Odin or Wong him or something. But anywho, that's who I feel like should get a point of power. Okay, I'm gonna do. I like getting the turn 7 though. Whole point is you double Mystique and have Surfer that lane. How many procs is that? If it's okay, Wong, Mystique, and then you play Silver Surfer. That is 4, or is it 8? Maybe remove Rogue from Magic then. Yeah, I mean that's a good shout. I was facing a lot of ongoing 2 nights ago, so I teched her into several decks instantly. But I haven't been seeing. Oh no, that's not true. I've probably faced 3 Living Tribunals today. I'm gonna keep her in for now. I might not need Negasonic. I only recently got her, even though she's been a Series 4 for like half a year. So she's another card I'm trying to find ways to use, even if they're not really good. All right, let's do this with the Mystique. I like that. All right, we're going no cam for a second. What you boys up to? Y'all gaming right now? Y'all on Snap? Do y'all normally play on your